it's me, Miss Kirkley, one of your favorite teachers here at the 7th and 8th grade academy. And if I'm not, I will be by the end of these YouTube videos. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are talking about integer rules when we're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing positive and negative integers. So basically, we're going to be talking about operations and what affects our signs when we are talking about our answers. So first things first, let's talk about addition because addition is very important. So basically, if you have the same sign in both of your pieces, you're going to keep the sign that it has and you're going to add them normally. If it's different though, do the bigger one minus the smaller one and then keep the sign of the larger one. So let's do some examples. So first things first, I have 4 plus negative 6. Now those have different signs. I know 6 is bigger than 4, so I'm going to do 6 minus 4. That's 2. And now for the sign, I know that 6 was bigger and 6 came with a negative. So that would be negative. So my answer is negative 2. Let's try that again. I have two numbers here, negative 5 and negative 6. Those are the same sign. So I'm going to keep the sign, which is negative. And then I'm just going to add the numbers like normal. So it's 5 plus 6, and that is 11. Let's do it again. This is 8 plus negative 3. They have different signs, so I'm going to do the bigger minus the smaller. So 8 minus 3, that's 5. And for my sign, I'm going to take the sign of the number that was bigger. 8 was positive, so this is a positive 5. Let's do one more. These signs are the same, 2 plus 2. So they're the same, so I'm going to keep the sign. That's positive, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Let's try with subtraction now. So with subtraction, it's a little different. I don't like subtraction. None of us do. So instead, we really want it to be addition. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to keep the sign of the first number. We're going to change the operation to addition. And then we're going to change the sign that comes after it, even if it turns out being negative at the end. So like this one I just did while we were working. I had 8 minus negative 5. So I'm going to keep that as positive 8. I'm going to turn it into addition because I want it to be addition because it's easier. And I'm going to change the sign of the second one. This was a negative 5, so now it's going to become a positive 5. And then I'm going to add them. So these are the same signs, so it's going to end up being a positive. And then 8 plus 5 is 13. Let's keep going. So I have negative 6 minus 3. So I'm going to keep the sign of the first one, so that's going to stay negative 6. I'm going to add it to turn it into addition. And then I'm going to change this sign to the opposite. So the opposite of positive 3 is negative 3. And now I'm going to add from our adding rules. So they're both negative, so I'm going to keep the same sign. And negative 6 plus negative 3 is going to give me 9. Let's go one more time. So I have 2 minus 8. So I'm going to keep that first sign. That was positive 2. I'm going to change this to addition. And then I'm going to change that positive into a negative now. Ooh, they have different signs. So I'm going to still follow my adding rules. These are different, so I'm going to subtract the bigger one minus the smaller one. So 8 minus 2, it's going to give me 6. And then I'm going to put the sign of the bigger one. So 8 was bigger, and that had a negative, so it's going to be negative 6. Good. Let's do our last one, multiplying and dividing. So with multiplying and dividing, it's a little different. So when we are multiplying and dividing, what we do is if they have the same signs, it's going to be positive after we multiply. If they're different signs, they're going to be negative. The analogy I like to think of is 2 of them. So when I am thinking about good and bad people in the world, when good people have good things happen to them, that's a good thing. And when bad things happen to good people, or when good things happen to bad people, those are bad things. We don't want those things to happen. But when bad things happen to bad people, and this might sound a little petty, that's a good thing. So make sure that we know if they're the same sign, it's positive. If it's a different sign, that's a bad thing. So 6 times negative 5. So 6 times 5 is going to give me 30. These are different signs. That's a positive, that's a negative. So it's going to be a negative. I have negative 8 times negative 2. Well, 8 times 2 is going to give me 16. These are both negatives. So it's positive. Then I have 8 divided by 2. This is positive 8, positive 2. That would be 4. And because they're both positive, it's going to be positive. And then here I have negative 16 divided by positive 4. Well, 16 divided by 4 is 4. And they have different signs, so it's going to be negative. And that's your integer rules. If you have any other questions, please reach out to your math teacher. Thank you. Bye-bye.